solid case for the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 was the best-selling console of all time, okay? And I understand that sales aren't everything. I get that. Sales aren't everything. But you've got games like Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. You've got Sly Cooper, Spyro the Dragon, Metal Gear Solid 2. I mean, there's so many amazing games that hit the PlayStation 2, and they were disc-based games. They had better capabilities for FMV, for sounds, for actual orchestral sounds. I mean, Final Fantasy X is probably one of the best games on the console, despite the story being a weaker Final Fantasy story. I still love Final Fantasy X. I think it's a great, fantastic game. There's just some moments in it that I'm just kind of about. PlayStation 2, they really came into their own. The nice, sleek, black-looking controller. You had the dual shock, you get the analog stick. It was a wired controller, I get it. But it had the L1, it had the 4 buttons on the back. You had your triangle, X, square, and circle, analog sticks, and the D-pad, right? And it fit so comfortably in your hand. And I will say that in my personal experience, I have spent the most amount of hours gaming on the PlayStation 2. And, I mean, that's just in my opinion. And I say, honestly, if it's not number one, then it's definitely 1.5. It has to be. Because you really couldn't argue anything else, right? I mean, Xbox had Halo, and yeah, okay, we had multiplayer with Xbox and stuff like that. Okay, that was kind of fun. That was kind of cool. But, man, I tell you, PlayStation 2 was where it was at, And you had games like Hot Shots Golf 4 that you had a server you could connect to. Final Fantasy 11 you could play online. Just so many different features that came with the PlayStation 2 that were, I don't know if they were necessarily ahead of its time, but they were definitely more cutting edge than what we were used to at the time. And honestly, the Super Nintendo library is going to be one of the hardest libraries to beat. In fact, in my opinion, it's got the best sound system on any console of all time. Most of the games for the Super Nintendo had absolute downright bangers of soundtracks. I mean, to this day, I still listen to Donkey Kong Country music. I still listen to Mario World music. I still listen to Mega Man X music. I still listen to, just so many different games from the Super Nintendo. Star Fox, Corneria, oh my gosh, that was a great song. But really, you had things like Bullet Time with Max Payne on PlayStation 2. I don't know. It's a very interesting argument, one way or the other. But I honestly believe.
Hey! Super Nintendo had Bullet Time.
Okay.
Gradius 3 and Contra 3.
Matrix.
They had Bullet Time. There were you would get certain parts of the level, and everything is slowed down.
Sprite limitations. That's not Bullet Time. That's
Bullet Time.
Sprite limitations.
And also, you could put more memory chips on the cartridge to make it bigger. You couldn't put more memory chips on a DVD-ROM.
No, you couldn't put more memory chips on there. But already out of the gate, a compact disc had more storage space than a cart.
Yes, more storage space and long load times. And most of the data on those were just for their crappy, stupid games. Because the PlayStation 2 had, let's see, how many games were released for the PlayStation 2? Total number of games released in North America was 1,601 games. In Europe, 2,952. And in Japan, 5,482 games. That comes directly from Sony, by the way. How much of that library is shovelware?
Okay, I could give you that. I could give you that.
Is shovelware. Some of the worst games ever. They have these terrible third party, and these are licensed games. These terrible European fairy tale games that have these off brand Snow White and stuff like that. this is the kind of nonsense they were putting out on the PS2. So it has this huge library. It's mostly shovelware. Now, 155 million PlayStation 2s were sold. 155 million, and that's a lot. That's a lot of PlayStation 2s that were sold. And how many PS2s did you buy?
You want the truth, or do you want me to make something up? No, I'll tell you the truth. I bought 3 of them over the years.
You bought 3 of them. So they sold the most units, but one guy had to buy 3 because they broke. The damn things broke. It's probably real. It's getting harder and harder to find working ones these days because the damn things broke. Thank you for listening to this clip from the Console Kingdom podcast. You can listen to the full episode right now here on our YouTube channel or on your favorite podcasting platform. Links in the description below. Please like this video and subscribe and enable notifications so that you are notified when our next episode goes live. In the meantime, please check out my YouTube channel, Risky Bitness, right here on YouTube. Thank you and game on.